What do a poor boy who worked as a bird scarer and an aristocrat with a passion for cars have in common? Together, they created one of the most luxurious car brands in the world, Rolls-Royce. Chapter 1. The early life of Henry Royce. Frederick Henry Royce, born in 1863 in Alwalton, England, came from very modest beginnings. The youngest of 5 children, Royce's family faced severe financial difficulties. His parents, James and Mary Royce, struggled to make ends meet by running a flour mill. However, due to poor business skills, James failed to keep the mill profitable, and in 1867, the family declared bankruptcy. Life for the Royce family only became tougher. In search of better prospects, they moved to London, hoping for a fresh start. By the time young Henry was just 4 years old, he had already started contributing to the household. His first job? Scaring birds off crops on a local farm for just 6 pence a week. It was a meager amount, but every penny helped. Tragedy struck again when Henry's father passed away in 1872, leaving the family in even worse financial hardship. With their primary breadwinner gone, the Royce children, including Henry, were forced to work to support their family. Henry took on jobs such as selling newspapers and delivering telegrams, but these were not enough to alleviate the family's struggles. His early years in poverty would have a profound effect on him and instilled a relentless drive for success. By the age of 15, Henry had received only 1 year of formal education, but his curiosity and passion for machines never faded. His aunt, seeing his potential, offered financial help, allowing him to begin an apprenticeship with Great Northern Railway in 1878. Though his education was minimal, Henry threw himself into learning, using every opportunity to teach himself algebra, French, and electrical engineering in his free time. But after 3 years, financial difficulties once again forced him to quit his apprenticeship. Chapter 2. Henry Royce's journey into engineering. Despite being forced to leave his apprenticeship, Henry Royce refused to let go of his passion for engineering. He soon found work at a tool-making company in Leeds, where he continued to sharpen his mechanical skills. Later, he moved to Liverpool to work for the Electric Light and Power Company, where he gained valuable experience with electrical systems. By the age of 22, Henry had saved enough money to start his own business. In 1884, he founded F.H. Royce and Company with fellow engineer Ernest Claremont. The company initially focused on making electrical components, such as doorbells and dynamos. Over the next decade, the company grew steadily, and by 1894, they were producing electric cranes. However, Royce's interests were beginning to evolve. By the turn of the century, Henry Royce became increasingly fascinated with motor cars. Although cars were still a novelty at the time, Royce saw potential in their mechanics. In 1901, he bought a second-hand Dion Bouton 2-cylinder car, but he found many faults in its design. This dissatisfaction with the car's performance led him to an important decision. He would build his own car and do it better. Chapter 3. The early life of Charles Rolls. While Henry Royce was building his business, another important figure in the Rolls-Royce story was making his mark. Charles Stuart Rolls, born in 1877 into a wealthy family in London's Berkeley Square, Rolls had a privileged upbringing that was in stark contrast to Royce's humble beginnings. The youngest child of Lord and Lady Langaddock, Rolls attended Eton College and later studied mechanical engineering at Trinity College, Cambridge. From a young age, Charles Rolls was fascinated with machinery, particularly cars. At the age of 18, he became the first undergraduate at Trinity College to own a car, a Peugeot that he had imported from France, at a time when most people had never even seen a car. Rolls was already building a reputation as a motoring enthusiast. He gained the nickname Dirty Rolls due to his constant tinkering with engines. After graduating in 1898, Rolls took on various jobs, including working on a steam yacht and for the London and Northwestern Railway. However, his true passion lay in motoring, and with financial support from his father, Rolls opened one of Britain's first car dealerships, C.S. Rolls & Coates in 1903. His dealership focused on selling Peugeot and Minerva cars, but Rolls was eager to find a British manufacturer whose cars he could sell. This desire would soon lead him to meet Henry Royce. Chapter 4. The Meeting of Rolls and Royce. In 1901, Henry Royce's dissatisfaction with the De Dion Bouton car led him to build his own. By 1904, he had completed his first motor car, a Royce 10 horsepower, 2-cylinder vehicle. He built 3 in total. One was given to his business partner, Ernest Claremont, another to a shareholder, Henry Edmunds, and the third was kept for himself. It was Henry Edmunds who would change the course of history. A friend of Charles Rolls, Edmunds was impressed with Royce's car and arranged a meeting between Rolls and Royce. On May 4, 1904, the two men met at the Midland Hotel in Manchester. Despite their differences in background, Royce was a self-taught engineer, while Rolls came from aristocratic privilege. The two men found common ground in their passion for motor cars. When Charles Rolls saw Royce's car, he was immediately impressed. Although he had always preferred 3- and 4-cylinder cars, the quality and performance of Royce's 2-cylinder model won him over. After a short test drive, Rolls agreed to sell all the cars that Royce could build. The two men formed a partnership that would forever change the face of luxury motoring. By the end of 1904, Rolls-Royce Limited was born, and the company quickly became known for its commitment to quality and craftsmanship. Chapter 5. The Creation of the Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. With their partnership solidified, Rolls and Royce set out to create the best cars in the world. In 1906, they launched their first car under the Rolls-Royce name, the Silver Ghost. The Silver Ghost was a 6-cylinder masterpiece that revolutionized the automotive industry. It was celebrated for its quietness, smoothness, and unmatched reliability, and it quickly became known as the best car in the world. However, the success of Rolls-Royce wasn't just due to Rolls and Royce. A third figure played a pivotal role in the company's early years. Claude Johnson, who was known as the hyphen in Rolls-Royce. Johnson was the managing director of the company and a marketing genius. He organized publicity stunts to showcase the superior quality of Rolls-Royce cars, including an endurance test where the Silver Ghost drove 14,371 miles without breaking down. Johnson's efforts helped establish Rolls-Royce as a symbol of luxury and engineering excellence. Chapter 6. The tragic death of Charles Rolls. While Henry Royce and Claude Johnson focused on building the company, Charles Rolls pursued his other passion, aviation. In 1910, Rolls made history by becoming the first person to complete a non-stop double crossing of the English Channel by airplane. However, his love for flying would ultimately lead to tragedy. Just a month after his historic flight, Charles Rolls was killed in an air crash during a flying display in Bournemouth. He was only 32 years old, becoming the first Briton to die in an aviation accident. Rolls' death marked the end of the partnership that had helped create one of the world's most iconic car brands. But the legacy of Rolls-Royce was far from over. Chapter 7. Henry Royce's Commitment to Perfection. Following the death of Charles Rolls, Henry Royce continued to push forward with their shared vision. He was known for his relentless pursuit of perfection in engineering. His motto, "Strive for perfection in everything you do. Take the best that exists and make it better. When it does not exist, design it," became the foundation of the Rolls-Royce brand. During World War I, Rolls-Royce expanded into the production of aircraft engines, a dream that Rolls had once had. The Rolls-Royce Eagle engine powered many of the planes used by the Allies during the war, further solidifying the company's reputation for excellence in engineering. As Rolls-Royce grew, Henry Royce's health began to decline. He had struggled with digestive problems throughout his life, a condition made worse by years of overwork and poor nutrition in his youth. Despite his failing health, Royce continued to work, designing and refining new engines until his death in 1933 at the age of 70. His final sketch was drawn from his deathbed just hours before he passed away. Chapter 8. Rolls-Royce. Today, even after the deaths of both founders, the legacy of Rolls-Royce continued to thrive. The company remained at the forefront of luxury motoring and engineering innovation. In the years following World War I, Rolls-Royce introduced iconic models such as the Phantom and the Corniche, which became synonymous with luxury and sophistication. In 1973, Rolls-Royce divided into two separate entities, Rolls-Royce Motors and Rolls-Royce plc. While the former focused on luxury cars, the latter became one of the world's leading manufacturers of aircraft engines. The automotive side of the business was eventually acquired by BMW in 1998, and under their ownership, Rolls-Royce has continued to produce some of the most exclusive cars in the world. Today, models like the Rolls-Royce Phantom, Ghost, Cullinan, and Wraith are regarded as the epitome of luxury. With over 130 dealerships in 40 countries, Rolls-Royce remains a symbol of prestige and success. The company's Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament is recognized worldwide as an emblem of automotive excellence. And that's the story of how Rolls-Royce was created. From humble beginnings to a global symbol of luxury, the legacy of Rolls-Royce lives on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the link for more inspiring stories.